That is a beautiful piece of music. Dear Tim picked our songs for today and our theme. Welcome everyone to our number 310. Wow, Sunday gathering. I'm Sandra, if we haven't yet met. We're so grateful you're here. It was many moons ago that my friends and I came together thinking we're going to do something short term just after COVID hit to lift some grieving hearts and be part of a community and share some joy and the medium demonstration. And it turned into many years and many thousands of medium demonstrations and many tens of thousands of people who have come to our Sunday gathering. So, whatever brought you here today, a warm welcome to you. That song, The Me That Remains, I've heard it a few times after Tim had sent it to me, but just hearing it now, I hear it in a whole different way. We are the ones that take us from our very first breath to our last. And so today we're going to explore a little bit about you, my friend, that one special person that's one of a kind, and your soul's journey, maybe just a little. So while we're here today, yes, I'm joined by psychic medium Tim, he is known by. He's a wonderful friend. He's just a great person. And I love every time, not just demonstrations, but he's filled with so many words of wisdom. And so, Tim, you'll always be younger to me and a young man, but I just really enjoy any time that you're here with us. So, Tim will be doing our opening and closing prayers today. He will be starting us off on our address, and he will be doing our demonstration of mediumship. You've got me for the bits in between, the reading, the healing, the words of the week, part of the address. And together with you, friends all over the world, and our loved ones who are invisible to our eyes and spirit, but very much part of our lives, that we join together for this wonderful Sunday gathering. So, whatever brought you here, a warm welcome. And if you're watching the replay, a welcome to you too. So, I'll turn it over to Tim for our opening prayer.
Thanks, Sandra, and thank you for having me back again. I really appreciate that as well. So, as we begin our service, let's close our eyes and open with a prayer. We give thanks to those that are with us today as we gather our thoughts, our minds, our wishes and dreams, in fact, and we know that they're in the sight of those who have gone before us, those who are on the other side as our team, and whomever you may call the Great Spirit. We know we are in the presence of many and that we are never alone. We are an individual. We are created that way. And sometimes we may feel that that gets a little lonely, and yet we have a group of people. This is our Sunday family, and we give thanks that we can join, and we've made the choice to be here today. And whatever it took to get us here, we made it. We're thankful and we're grateful. Amen.
Thanks so much, Tim. All right, the reading comes next. So, when we were talking and hearing that song, The Me That Remains, it talks about our free will, the progression of the soul, who we are really. And it got me thinking about how we use our free will, or more accurately, how often we give it away to whoever everyone else wants us to be. So, I'm going to tell you a story that I wrote a few nights ago. It's about a man named Arthur. Arthur is 60 years old. He is a good man, but Arthur is a bit of a chameleon. Depending on who he is standing in front of, he completely changes his colors. When Arthur goes to visit his 90-year-old mother on Sunday evenings, he isn't a 60-year-old man. He shrinks right back to little Artie. He sits up straight, he eats his vegetables, and he nods quietly to the advice the mother gives, whether he needs it or not. On Monday morning, Arthur walks into the office. Now he puts on his Mr. Harrison mask. He lowers his voice. He is stoic, responsible, fierce, and strictly about business. You don't mess with Mr. Harrison. On Friday night, he goes home. He walks through the door and he puts on the dad and grandpa mask. To his adult children, he is still the stern enforcer of the rules and the dad that is always in charge, head of the household. But to the toddlers, He is the wise, silly grandpa who plays on the floor with them and pulls quarters out from behind their ears. To his wife, he plays the role of the strong, masculine provider who is never allowed to be afraid or unsure. Arthur spends his entire week wearing all of these heavy masks. But then it hits 11 o'clock in the evening. The house is completely quiet. Everyone is asleep. Arthur goes down to the living room, puts on his oldest, most comfortable pair of sweatpants, sits in his favorite recliner, and turns on the ball game. His loving dog hops up onto his lap, and Arthur just sits there, petting the dog, letting out a massive, exhausted sigh. In that quiet room with just the dog, Arthur finally drops all the masks. He isn't little Artie or Mr. Harrison or the stern enforcer. He is just Arthur. And he looks out the window and thinks, who am I really? He realizes he is exhausted from acting. He realizes he has been using his free will to write scripts for what other people think he should be doing instead of living his own life. The next day, Arthur decides to try an experiment. When his wife asks him what's wrong, instead of playing the strong provider, he drops his mask. He says, honestly, I'm feeling really overwhelmed today, and I just need a hug. At work, instead of being the stoic boss, he makes a goofy joke in the boardroom and admits he doesn't have the answer to a problem. And you know what happens? The cosmic joke reveals itself. His wife doesn't think he's weak. She feels even closer to him. His employees don't lose respect for him. They finally feel they can trust him because they recognize him as being human. Arthur realizes the greatest punchline of life. People love us the most when we are just us. Thank you for listening to my reading. And I'm hoping that hit home a little bit with you. We're going to explore more on our address today. We're going to go into our healing. And if you're new with us today, we hear a lovely piece of music each week. And it's an opportunity for us to just send our healing prayers to those in need. I 100% believe those in the unseen world take our human energy and direct it to where it's needed. I do know that we've had much grief not only in the world, but within our community. There's been some real hard loss, even though our loved ones go on, feeling the grief is one of the most painful things we'll ever feel. And maybe you too could use some healing, whether it's physical or emotional, whatever that may be. So as we listen to this beautiful song, let's just keep that healing intent in mind. You can even just say, use me. However, take from me what is needed. We don't need to know how it works, but distant healing absolutely does work. When the song ends, we'll hear from Tim for our address first, followed by a few words from me. So Tim has picked our music today, and this song is I Am Already Enough by Fearless Soul.
Really like that song. That's a new song to me as well. That's one nice thing about doing the gathering is I go through catalogs of songs that I do know and don't know. That was a new one to me, and in a sense, it already kind of figured out what we were going to talk about, and I kind of went, okay, well, there it was. That's that's it in a nutshell, in a nice song. So I hope you enjoyed that as well, and take that as the basis, because oftentimes we're kind of cutting ourselves down, right? We're sort of saying, okay, oh, this I'm having a bad day, or going through a tough time. Um, and we're trying to draw from ourselves at times, what can I do? Sometimes we feel like not getting out of bed too. But what gets us there is that everything we need is right there inside of us. We are, just as the song was saying, we are enough of that. So what we're going to talk about is enough and going forward. So a question to start with is, Who do you depend upon? Who do you think of? Who comes to mind first of all when you think, I really depend on this person? And then you might also think too, who's around me that kind of depends on me as well? Because we have certain responsibilities. We have day-to-day things that must, in a sense, get done. And in a way, they sort of form our boundaries, our scaffolding, we could say, of our life. Who is it that we invite into our life as friends and family and spouses and children, in a sense, we invite them into our lives as well. And we still come to a certain point in which that's my scaffolding. I have great days, I have not great days, and who am I? Well, apparently we're enough, according to the song. That's going to be our basis. We'll keep on going back to that. But where do we go from here? So, in a way, I want to talk about free will. What is it that's within us that drives us to move forward, to make our own choices? And sometimes people get confused between our choices and free will. And that's why I kind of talk about that scaffolding. In a way, a picture that came to me was like a coloring book. Just imagine you get a brand new coloring book, one for children. Nice big picture, open it up, and it's got these great big black lines of a really nice picture. And the one that came to mind, I don't know why, you can psychoanalyze me if you want to, but it was a picture of a bear. So just a bear. And that's sort of our scaffolding. So for those who say, we don't have free will, we can choose to do this, we can choose to do that, but I'm in a confined environment. I live in, say, country X, insert your country here, and I have to abide by those rules. I live in my family and I have to live by those rules. Where's my free will or free choice? Well, we get some choices. Our free will is how we fill in that coloring book. So where we live, who we have, who we invite in, who we're born into as a family, they're kind of like that picture of the bear, of that coloring book that's blank, unfilled. And it's in our life that gets us to pick up this crayon of whatever color we want. And we start filling it in. We start living our life given the boundaries that we may have around us. Yes, there are choices, but the choices are bit by bit, step by step, and they do have ripple effects. They do affect others as well and affect our own future. Those are the day-to-day small ones. I'm thinking bigger, our free will. Where do we decide to go for a career? Where do we decide to move to because we have that ability to do that? What do I study after I'm done high school? Where do I want to go? What do I want to do? What's good for me? Now, you may have a family with you, you may have friends with you, and you feel that, you'd like to have them around. I depend on them. They're great to listen to and give advice. And I'm responsible for certain people, four-legged friends like I've got to. You're responsible for those. Those are choices that you made. But in going beyond that, your free will is going right to the core of you. Where is it that I want to move to? What do I know fits well with me as an individual? And we're going to talk individual here because no one else is like you. Now, going back to the prayer, that's that little sentence that crept in there. Sometimes I know it's coming, sometimes I don't, about being individual, and sometimes it's lonely. Because our soul, I believe, craves to be individual, to explore, to find out what we don't know. And we can do it quietly, we can be gregarious about it, but we're constantly wanting to explore, to become better in a sense, or more. Instead of better, I almost want to say broader. Do you know what I mean? So it's not like good or bad kind of better situation. It's I want to learn a little bit more about myself, the universe, others. And to do that, I need to reflect on me, the individual. So I will make choices that affect my life, and it does affect others, no doubt. That's where do those choices come from? Why is it that I prefer this over that? That becomes your individual elements, I believe, and go even deeper. Why do I like those things? I like those things because I believe in You can fill that in. Trust. I believe in um, being intellectual, and by that I mean exploring more and more study in a sense. There's probably a better word for that, but I'll use that one for now. I believe in peace. I believe in getting along. So I'm kind of drawing stripes on me in a sense by doing that. Those are kind of like core beliefs. So in a sense, my core has those beliefs, and you have your beliefs too. And no doubt we share a number of those. And those are probably the friends that you get to know better and better and better as you share how much of those you actually have in common. But still, it comes down to you, the individual. The fact that you are able to make choices for yourself within a parameter given, because we are living in the world. We chose to come here in one way or another. And so we are here. We almost make an agreement that we need to live in certain sort of ways. And why we choose to do that, that feeling deep inside that makes us want to move in this direction, maybe move to making this up Hawaii where you meet your spouse. Where does that come from? Why is that inner self so controlling and so able to judge what needs to go on? It's from our soul. I believe that that's the soul. And some people believe that we are living our life here as a part of our soul. Our greater soul is out further and we're still somehow connected. Some believe this is our soul. And when we move on collectively and we take our soul, I mean, to the other side. We will all find out one day. So that great mystery will be unsolved. But that's what you got to love about the mystery. We don't know. So we get to experiment, we get to find out, we get to do all sorts of wonderful things because we're on our way to figuring it out. It's like if you read a book and you skip to the end of the book, you know how it ends. And the rest of the book just kind of loses a little bit of shimmer as a result of that. So our life isn't losing the shimmer. We've got a lot of shimmer to go because we don't know exactly the end product. So our soul progression, our soul wanting it to go broader, not better, but broader, to in order to pick up these life experiences, these things that only we will understand for ourselves. That's within us. That makes us there's a word I'm kind of avoiding. I'm just going to say it because it's coming up a lot. It's sovereign. We are a sovereign person. We are an individual and we have the things we like. We have the things that we know should be followed. The word should, I hate to, use that sometimes, but we know that if we want to be better at something, we want to do more for others, there are certain things that need to follow. So those are the shoulds. And we have the free will to choose that or not. We have our free will to join certain clubs. We have our free will to be at the gathering. We have the free will to believe what we wish to believe based on our experiences. So it's kind of getting a little heady, I think, as a result of that. So if we're thinking of our ultimate goal being hopefully a soul progression, making that nice step so that our soul, whether it joins our bigger self or a collective of others, whichever way you wish to believe that to be, um, it becomes more polished. We get to explore. We get to find out things we never imagined before. To get there, though, and to be ready for that, these are the life experiences. So, is there maybe a fine thread between that final product and where we are now that gives us our likes and dislikes? That little voice that tells us, you know what, maybe take out the car today and go to the shopping center and you run across some friends you haven't talked to and maybe you have some difficulties going on and you just feel you need to call somebody up, and you do. Those little niggling things in the back of our mind that spur us on to do things for ourselves to make us a little bit broader, using that word again, um, that allows us to enrich who we are, to take where we are enough right now, and to enrich that even a little further. That life experience, as fun or as exciting or sometimes as tough as it is, polishes our soul a little bit more, gets us a little bit more knowledgeable about the world and how we see it and how we fit into it, and allows our soul to make that extra little step broader, a little bit further out there, and getting the understanding, which I believe is something we all crave, is to understand. When we are faced with hardships and difficulties, we sort of want to understand how to get out of it, or why me is often a question in there. So rather than getting stagnant on the why me, we broaden, we get out there, we do that little something. We have the free will to step out of that and try to heal ourselves, to go a little bit further. And hopefully, in that further, and we polish ourselves, we start taking the cartoon, the coloring book, and we start filling in all the colors the way we want to, our experiences as we go through different shades. And as we get more experienced, we're able to use crayons a little bit better than we could before. And so that we're ready for the one day when we turn that page and there's a blank page, no parameters, and we get to create that and color it the way we want to. One day we'll get there. Thank you for listening, and I'll pass it on to Sandra.
Thank you, Tim. That was amazing. You had me thinking about all kinds of things. What am I coloring? All that. Friends, I can only share my experiences, my worries, my challenges through life. So when Tim brought up this theme, I thought, okay, I know I'm not alone in some of these challenges. So I want to start off with the wisdom and the freedom that when we get to a certain age, we feel. When I was younger, gosh, I had to make sure I said the right thing or did the right thing. And I'd be embarrassed if somebody was freely self-expressed. I'm like, oh no, especially if it was one of my parents or one of my friends. And the older I've gotten, it's like, I don't care. You just do you, right? So there's a huge freedom that comes along with it. But on the flip side of it, we start looking at birthdays and the age creeping up. April 8th is my birthday, and I'm turning 60. And although 60 is not old, in my brain, it's like, how the heck did that happen? Now, I know I have people joining us here today that are younger and some older. Wherever you are, you start like, how did that sneak up on us so fast? So while I'm grateful for the full of self-expression and all those good things, it's like, oh, wow. But with that, I have the benefit of interviewing people about life after death, talking about grief, what it is to live a powerful life. I have interviewed and read thousands of near-death experiences that 100% convince me that our soul continues after physical death. And so many of these experiences talk about the life review, getting to explore things from other people's perspectives of how we impacted them, both the maybe negative and then also the good, the ripple effect. But it's clear that people, even seeing this in our medium demonstrations, they get to pick their favorite age, their favorite health, and then just being free with their soul. So I know you've looked in the mirror every day, as I have, and what was once an 18-year-old might be a 60-year-old, but you're still you. And I remember my grandmother, she passed 1 week before her 91st birthday. And she said, I look in the mirror and I see somebody older, but I'm still me. And she says, she didn't say my soul, but she says, I'm like 23 years old, something like that. She was young, young at heart. So just remember that no matter what age it says on the calendar and whatever's happening physically, your soul is perfect, healthy, well, and free. You're still you. And yeah, someday we're going to close our eyes one last time. We're going to open them up, and there's going to be our friends, our family that have passed before us. Our pets are going to come running in, and it's going to be a world that's very real, just like our world. And we're going to go, wow, it is all real. However, while we're here, how do we get our money's worth out of this life? like I said, I've been blessed to be able to interview all these people and things, but the one thing that shines the most with all of these experiences is these commonalities. Now, there's as many different near-death experiences are there as there are people that have ever walked this earth, but we look for the commonalities. Yeah, a lot of people see the light and feel a tunnel, but just about everybody feels this sense of unconditional love, so much love for them that they can't even put into words. It just can't. There's so much love. So right now around you, you are supported by your loved ones that might have passed. I believe guides, just with this total unconditional love for you. We get this opportunity to be here on planet Earth and we get to be self-expressed. And I told that story about Arthur because Arthur is kind of like Sandra. I noticed throughout my life who I was in high school, who I was in work, who I was when I finally started dipping my toe in the water and exploring life after death. And then when I suddenly started sharing it. So the people that or who you know me as Sandra on the Sunday gathering, I may not, you may not feel the same way I as my siblings feel about me, which is a good thing actually, because they haven't participated in my life too much. But even at that, I realize like I show up differently for different people. Not so much anymore, but it's really easy to do, just like Arthur. You know, he could be grandpa, or he's got to be a certain way at work. But the thing is, our soul yearns for us to be self-expressed. As we talked about the last couple of weeks, our passions might change, and that's fine. There is not one true soul's purpose. You know, it's just be you and go explore. So it may change, but you're still you. And so I know change is difficult. And even if you imagine Arthur at the end of the day sitting on his chair there with the dog on his lap, and he's free to be him, what does it take to be free to be us in all of those circles in our lives? That what we repeat becomes a habit. And there's a habit really for being us. I have my mom upstairs and I fall into daughter mode a lot. No matter how old I am and no matter how old she is, I'm still the kid and she's still the mom. And trust me, I treat her with every bit of respect. But there are times, whether it's her or someone else, and it's like, hey, my feelings matter, my thoughts matter, my beliefs matter. And so to turn up our soul a little bit and our likes or dislikes, whatever, and just to realize that the more we practice just being us, the easier it gets. So I'm not saying you have to change, but just if you notice yourself being a little different to the different groups in your life, are you being totally self-expressed? Are you just being you? And sometimes it's a huge relief to other people to say you don't know the answer or to say you're afraid about something because people can only connect to our humanity, warts and all, as they say. So just be you. Now, if I can go back to some of those commonalities that those people who have crossed over and come back have told us, it really is this. I always say life is an education for the soul, but education can be a hard word, right? I didn't like school at all, but it's more the experience for the soul. It's doing the new things, trying new things, getting out of that comfort zone. Those in the unseen world, they just want us to live, to explore, to love. And whatever we give out, it comes right back. Maybe not from the same person, but it might come back another way. So being loving, being forgiving, being kind, and making a difference for another person or being. You can volunteer to pet shelter like my friend Darla does. So those are the things. So there's no right way, there's no wrong way to do life. There's just your way, and your way can change. So my request is this, as we all continue to age, yes, we do. And they say time seems to go by really fast because we have these daily habits that are minds are just so used to that makes time go by so fast. It's to break out of that a little bit. Try some new things, slow down, and be present. Look at that person in the mirror or take that time when you have a little of you time. What is it that is important to you? What do you need to do? What do you want to explore? What are some of the passions you have? Those people in our lives, as much as we love them, they come and go. They do. It might take a lifetime, but we are the ones that bring us from point A to point B. And there's no right or way to do it. And yes, we will close our eyes and everyone will be there. But I spoke once to an anesthesiologist, and he said just before people go into surgery, he said, even if they're atheist, suddenly they're praying. They're hoping that there's something bigger. And then they look at their relationships. What did they say or what didn't they say? So the regrets pop up. And then what also pops up is what they never got to do. So these people have the feeling like this could be their last time, that nobody knows what the future is, but getting put under anesthesia can be scary. But those are commonalities. So what would it be like not to have a fear-based thing, but just to routinely ask ourselves, what's important to me? Who's important to me? Are there any communications that are left undelivered? Are there things I want to explore that I haven't done yet? Are there things I said I was going to do? And, I don't really want to do them anymore. You have my permission to cross them off your list. You do. But the truth is, just be you. You're one of a kind. You're special. And I know that someday we're going to feel all that unconditional love when we cross over. But I just want you to imagine that you have it right now. You have eyes that are loving you and arms that are holding you, and they just want you to explore and be happy. Like I said, no right way or wrong way. So I think that's just the message I want to leave you with today. And as much as I'm talking to you, I'm talking to me too. I put my makeup on, get my hair done, put my shirt on for the Sunday gathering, but the rest of the time, I'm just me, dealing with all my own stuff. So if we can make a little agreement this week and going forward to let our light shine a little bit more, our thoughts, our passions, all that stuff, it matters. And we can't see through the eyes of the other people in our life, but we have to trust they're going through the same thing. And when you give yourself permission to just be you, you give permission to them to just be them. So I want to thank you for listening to our combined address today. And I hope it's made a difference. We're going to move on now, friends, to our demonstration of mediumship. And this is an opportunity for our fully expressed friends, family, loved ones, associates in the unseen world to present themselves today. The good news is, like I said, once we migrate to the other side, we're still us and we still have the same personalities, which is pretty cool. So I get to witness through our mediums each and every week the personalities that come through from those on the other side. They're part of our lives. They witness what we're doing. They continue to learn and grow and experience and research and all those good things on the other side, but they can be right here with us. So it's not just on our Sunday gathering that they show up. They certainly give you your privacy, but they are your biggest cheerleaders. So I'm so grateful that Tim is our medium here today. And so Tim, in his own way, will ask for those in the spirit world who wish to work with him to present themselves to him. And how they have that organized on the other side, I do not know. But I do believe, although there'll just be a handful of people that get readings here today, but those readings really are for each and every one of us. We get to witness how close the love is, that they can often witness things that are happening in our lives right now. They give bits of evidence to that. But also, there's messages that come through. And just like Tim's address in his prayer and maybe my reading and some of my words, hopefully a little peace landed with each and every one of you. Those in the spirit world want to give those messages to all of us as well. So if you find that a message is being delivered to someone through our demonstration today, and you say, oh, I could use some of that, take it. That's why it's being offered. So, like I said, there will be people that get readings today from our community, but these folks from the spirit world really truly are here for all of us. So, I know we have some first timers here with us today, and I'll give a refresher course to everyone else how our medium demonstration works. Those in the spirit world will present themselves to Tim in whichever way they do. He will give some initial bits of information about the person that has connected with him. I want everybody on the edge of your seat because you're going to listen in. Is this person coming for me? Now, the person, one thing they have in common is that they no longer live and breathe here on planet Earth. Okay, so they're all in spirit, but they can be our loved ones, they can be friends, they can be family members, they can be people we worked with, they can be people that, gosh, we haven't thought about in 30 years. All right, so really listen in. If the description of the person that is connecting with Tim makes sense to you, if you can understand 100% of the information that Tim has shared about this person, and you say, oh my gosh, that's so and so, I know that person, we want you to press your raise hand button. So this is an opportunity for you on your device to find that raise hand button and press it for me. Sometimes if you're on a tablet or a phone, you might need to press 3 little dots and then it appears. I know some time, was it last week, someone said they tuned in a way that they couldn't find a raise hand button. And in that case, you just can type in the chat box if you don't get my attention. What we'd like to do is find who the recipient is the fastest. So sometimes there could be 2 or 3 people that can understand all the information. And if that's the case, Tim will give other bits of information, and you'll notice that that raise hand button goes from raise hand to lower hand. If all of a sudden you say, oh, that part doesn't match me, then just press that lower hand button. So in a perfect world with technology working in its wonderful self-expressed way, we will get to that one person. If it is you, I press a button here on my computer, you're going to get a pop-up on your screen with an unmute button that appears. We don't need to see you. Don't worry, your camera stays off, but we do love to hear your voice. So you just press the unmute button. And when I say we love to hear your voice, this goes for any medium reading you ever have, whether it's on our Sunday gathering, any demonstration, or one-on-one. Please let the medium do the work. Your job is just to say yes, no, or I don't know to the information that they give. All right. There's a term called feeding the medium, giving too much. And then you go home thinking, did the medium give me that information or did I volunteer it? So just to be sure, yes, no, and I don't know. And with a medium demonstration, everyone feels the love from spirit. There's often so much joy. There's usually wonderful messages that come through and evidence that they're still very much part of our life. So even if you're not the person that gets the reading today, please, please send your love and your energy that those people that need it the most, that have the sorest hearts, get the messages that they need for today. And all of us else will be pulling these readings towards us. Those in the spirit world are just as much as our part of our Sunday gathering community as people living in this earth. So I think I got that. Yes, no, I don't know. Yeah, that's it. So we like to play a piece of music before we go into our demonstration. I always imagine my loved ones in the room, sometimes dancing, just feeling good, big smile on their face, being together. So however you wish to enjoy this song, you can. We like to build the energy up just a little bit and yeah, and just enjoy it. We have a nice Katy Perry song for you today, so I'll play that for you. And we'll be back with the demonstration with Tim. Aren't those lyrics just perfect for today? Who else is feeling the love? Thanks, Tim.
You're welcome for selecting that one. They kind of select themselves, the songs almost kind of step right out there. And I can tell you the unconditionally really stepped out because that's really what comes through in messages is that any of the boundaries that may have been before, disagreements or whatever, they could still be working through them with apologies, but it's coming now from a base of unconditional love. And that is so comforting, actually. And um, even though it's sung by the lady who's presently dating our former prime minister, um, that can speak for itself. Isn't the world crazy? You know, isn't the world crazy? We don't need to understand it all. We just need to figure ourselves out, right? Oh, well. Well, with that, and thank you again, Sandra, for letting me come here again as well. And I do just want to remind people that as hard as it might be, just yes, no, or I don't know is your response. That really helps a lot. And then that way we're sure the evidence that's coming through is absolutely yours and absolutely um, untouched by other human hands. Now, I do have I do have a really nice lady coming through, and she's I believe her name is Donna, and I also believe that she was a very good friend of yours, and just the way that she and the recipient, that she and you would just chat, and she'd be so excited about what had to be spoken. Um, I do feel that she passed well before her time. Um, and I just know that she has that excitable spirit within her. And I think I'll leave it there for now. So it's a really good friend for a woman here, and her name is Donna, the person in the spirit world.
Thank you so much, Tim. Who understands this information? Please press your raise hand button for us. No hands up yet,
No
Tim.
hands up yet. Okay. So I do want to stay with Donna. Yes, I am checking, and I do want to stay with the name Donna. Now, I may have relationship a little bit off. In fact, it could be more than just friend. It could be family member, but I know that we got along so well to each other. Um, and I do still feel that I did pass before my time. I feel that's health related.
Thank you. Who understands Donna in spirit world? Now, Maureen, you wrote hand up. Does that mean you're trying to raise your hand? If so, I'm going to find it, Maureen. Because, this kind of thing happens. Hold on, Maureen. All right. We got Maureen. Let's see. And then Jen as well. Maureen, could you understand that information? Maureen,
Yes.
yes, she's typing in the chat box. She's
Okay.
unmuted, but we can't hear her voice.
Okay. If we could work with Maureen and Sandra, if you don't mind being her voice, because I tend not to focus on that, so I can stay
That's
connected.
fine. We have Jen also with her hand
And
raised,
also,
just so you
okay,
know.
so I want to go and explore Donna as friend who is excitable and able to just love those conversations. Maureen, do you understand Donna as friend? That information.
Maureen, just type a Y for yes. More than a friend.
More than a friend. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. So Maureen, I am going to work with you if that's okay, but Jen, keep listening in case I need to correct a little bit later. So with and then yeah, feel free, Maureen, just Y or N's. We can then because I feel so much energy from Donna is that once I got going in a conversation and I was so excitable, yeah, I hardly took a breath.
Yes.
Okay, and I know she loves sharing news with you. In fact, you would oftentimes be the first one she would tell.
Question mark.
Okay, so I'll take that as I don't know. That's a good.
Yeah.
Um,
Clever.
but I do feel that you when Donna had something really excitable, something that was really new in her life going on, she made sure she went to you and you would know about it.
No. Oh, we can hear
Oh, we've
you.
got it board.
It's a
Okay.
no. Okay.
Okay.
That makes it
So,
easier.
okay.
That's a no.
Okay. So, Maureen, now that we can hear you, um, want to go back then and have Donna as close friend who would tell you it would be excitable in our conversation.
Yes.
Okay. Um, there's a strong feeling though that she would be telling you a lot of what's going on, even when others would might not know all of that information. She would tell you.
I can see that.
Um, and there's a strong sense, there's kind of a pull here in that I need to tell you, I should be telling you, but I also really want to tell you. Would you understand that?
Kind of.
Yes, because there should, I feel like there's a duty in the relationship in which I am responsible to let you know what's going on with me.
Okay.
Okay. Um, and I feel that um, as Donna, I'm a very upfront and honest person,
Yes.
and that I would really not want to harm anyone. In fact, I'm going to say that sometimes she would err on omission. She would leave things out because she didn't want to hurt people's feelings.
Totally.
Yeah. And I feel that also, though, did come back to bite her a couple of times. And I do feel that that would be with you.
No.
No. Okay. But you would understand that that did come back to kind of haunt her in a way if she didn't say everything.
Yes.
Because it feels there is a family relationship with her that was sometimes up, sometimes down. Would you understand that? Her family.
With certain family members, yes.
Yes. And also she's giving me the impression too that with her, um, there's a strong feeling from her as if I'm at odds at sometimes how I even fit into that family because I am so different than they are. You'd be aware of that.
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Okay. And the relationship, she's bouncing back to the relationship with yourself, though, because it feels as if there's so much that doesn't need to be said between the two of you. There would be an understanding.
Exactly. Yeah.
Um, which is great. I just got a sense from her. She must have a great sense of humor as well once she got
Oh,
going.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because there's so much she didn't need to explain to you that it didn't slow her down that way, and she's laughing at that concept. Yeah. Uh, Um, there and yeah, just in their conversation, it's light. It's sometimes repetitive. In other words, she'd say the same thing again. She wanted to make sure you were understanding what she was saying.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
see that.
And I feel like as her, if I didn't leave knowing that you got what I was saying, then I didn't feel good and I would stay there and make sure you totally understood me until I left.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah. Um, now I'm bouncing back to what I had at the beginning too, is a sense of a health issue that took her.
Hmm.
Yes. And that this feeling there is that I did know about it a little bit before I let you know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Um, and again, she's going back to the thing of I really don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. She knew where this was headed.
Okay.
Um, okay, so since that's not a yes, I'll take that as she's letting you get know that information. Um, because there is the sense that as optimistic as I am very content with my life as far as I got. There was a lot accomplished. Would you understand that?
Um, kind of.
Yeah. So I'll just go back to her for a bit. Although there was more that I could do, and there was a lot that I could have loved to do, I feel that from her, that I got to meet you. Wow. She's
Oh,
she's emphasizing that meeting you was really critical for her,
oh, wow.
and
Well,
that she's letting me know that the way you added to her life, you kind of opened up doors to experiences she would not have had.
wow. That's so sweet.
Um, you'd understand like in the relationship between the two of you, I feel that she had to make a conscious de decision, conscious choice to, yes, go ahead with your friendship. Do you understand that?
She had to make a conscious choice.
Decision. She's giving a feeling as if, shall I be a friend? Shall I be close to Maureen? And the answer is yes. I'm not sure if you'd be
Oh,
aware of that, though.
no.
No, okay. Let me go back then, because I'm looking for some evidence for her that we can verify. You know what else came through at the very beginning too was the love of stripes. So I'm not sure in her clothing if she loved wearing stripes.
Not aware of that.
Not aware of that. And then she may be talking about you. Would you understand that you have a
No.
okay. Okay, I'll see if I'll come back and place that again. It just was a very fleeting bit to stripes as well. I do know though that she got to celebrate um, perennial events with you. There were birthdays, there was Christmases in
Oh,
which, yeah, there was lots of times
oh
together.
yeah.
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 Um,
Those were the special times. Yeah.
yeah,
100%.
yeah. And throughout, okay, here's her sense of humor again. Throughout that, she's implying that she got to keep her innocent nature. She maintained her innocent nature. She still was light and she
Oh
still was,
yeah.
yeah. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah, light but not vacant. I feel like that's very much something that she'd want to get across, that I have a lot going on inside of me, and people would sometimes totally ignore that.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, and I'm bouncing back again to family because I feel there's a definite lack of appreciation from family members.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can see that too.
yeah, and especially with the intellectual side. Because I do feel that she did feel career-wise, she moved into a field that she always wanted to go into.
Mhm. Okay.
Does that make sense to you?
Um,
Could be,
I
I
can
don't know.
understand that.
Okay.
I know I can understand that
Oh,
because
okay.
I know she liked what she did and it was very
Right.
much her
And
personality.
that took determination though. That was not exactly given to her. She really worked to get there.
Yeah, I can see that.
And I also feel that I feel I don't get support from certain family members about that.
I could see that happening. Yeah.
And it's almost as if I had to develop as her an ability to turn off that person or those people. Actually, it's more than one or two. I think there must be one in particular. It was really strong. I had to turn off that person, almost turn off their volume, and go on my way, and eventually add them back in to my conversation.
Mm,
So there's
I'm
like
not aware of that.
a cutting off of them, and then letting them back in again.
Mm, Not sure
Mm.
who that is.
Okay, not sure how she's relating to mom, and I feel her mom's in the spirit world as well.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So it's referring to mom when she's talking about that story.
Oh,
She's
okay.
referring to mom.
Okay. Fair enough. I
Okay,
can see that.
okay.
Oh, yeah, I can definitely see that.
Yeah, and then she just dropped in the word unconditional again, so I can take that. That's what she's wanting to talk to you about. Um, is that sense of unconditional love that people may not seem to be giving that to you at the time. Um, this is from Donna. So I feel as if there must be some people that are a little difficult in your life as well, and they are very close in relation, in a sense, who are sometimes a bit of a struggle to deal with. But underneath that, Dawn is relaying that to remember that their love is still there. It may not seem unconditional at the time, but it does still exist. So she's saying you can turn down the volume, but don't cut them off.
Okay. Can you hold on just a sec?
Yes.
Asha, can you help this customer, please? Sorry, I'm just at work.
Well, that's fine. We know it's not her, at least at the door there. Good.
Yeah.
Okay. So, actually, with her love, I will leave Donna with you, and
Okay.
she's alerting me to the sound of a bell. I'm not sure if you've heard a sound of a bell, and that relates to Donna. I didn't hear one just now for a customer, by the way, but she said the sound of a
She
bell.
said, what? Oh my
The
God,
sound of a bell.
there's a bell on the door the customer just walked in from.
Okay, and that's to remind
Oh,
you of her.
I
But
got goosebumps. Oh,
yeah, okay.
really?
But
Oh,
with her with her love, she's around you always. And thank you very much, Maureen.
oh,
Yeah.
oh. That just made my day. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I'm sorry I had to stop for a minute, but I always have the thing in my ear when I'm at work because I love listening. And when customers come in, I take it out and then I come back in to grab it. But oh
Oh,
my
yeah.
God, thank you so much. I
Yeah.
love Donna so much.
No
She was so
problem.
good to me.
Okay, great. Um, I'm glad we got to speak, actually. That's really nice. Okay. Um, as I blend again in the spirit world, it's okay. I know a gentleman's coming forward, and he's bringing forward the name Ian. Um, I don't believe that's his name. I believe I have Father in spirit, and that um, our recipient would know the name Ian. And I also feel that Dad was very, I want to get this right for him. He was above the call in knowing how to handle plumbing and electrical work. That was not his career, but he knew how to handle that in a house, like DIY. That's, absolutely an expert in that and never a problem. Sometimes we get the fathers who think they are, but in this case, this is a father who definitely was. Um, and I know I want to speak to daughter because there's a great deal that I'd love to say. Okay, we'll see if anyone
Who
understands that.
understands this information? Well, we have Diane, whose hand shot right up. Diane, if you can find that unmute button. Hi, Diane.
I
Hi.
um I'm not sure if it's for me, but I have a cousin Ian, and my dad was excellent at everything.
Okay, great. And that was not his career.
No, no.
Okay, great. Let's if you're uh, fine with this, let's keep on working here.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I know dad was when dad was serious about something, he was absolutely focused and quiet.
Yes, yes.
Um, because I feel that everything he had to do, and I'm not, I think he's going to come back to this. Everything I needed to do it perfectly or expertly. Not perfectly. I don't feel a perfectionist. It was perfect, but I felt it had to be done expertly.
Yes.
Yeah. Um, and I also feel from Dad that he had his expectations, and expectations I'm feeling around dinner time, people attending dinner, the way that people behave with each other. I had expectations, but they weren't high expectations. I just expected that respect from people
Yeah, yeah. He was like that.
and respect for each other, not just about him, but for each other.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Um, Now he's also relaying some conversations around the dinner table. There must have been at least a time in which he had to lay down the hammer, and I get because know you would have siblings, yes,
Yes,
yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
and that there would be some sort of kibitzing going on at the table, and he'd had to lower the hammer, and it'd be dead quiet. That's a strong memory from him.
Um, Possibly, but that's so long ago.
Okay, but yeah, think about that. He's in a sense he's telling that as a humorist. He's kind of laughing at it now because he's not the kind of guy that bangs around and demands attention. Correct?
No,
Yeah,
not at all. No.
yeah. And so in that sort of situation, when he had to put his foot down, it was a little uncharacteristic.
Yeah, it was always the joke that he was very easygoing, but once he lost it, you towed the line.
Yeah, but he loved his family. He would
Mm.
do anything for any member of his family.
Yeah.
I feel that there was a lot of work that he had to do outside the home. His career took a lot of his time.
Yes, that'd be right. Yes.
Yeah, and I part of that reason is again, it's that expertly. He had to complete his work expertly. He wanted no person to have to fix up anything. I want
Yeah.
to be aware of that, yes. Um, Now I also your family would have had a separate garage to the house.
Um, I'm just thinking of the house he had.
Yeah, we're going way back. I feel like there's if it's not the house, it's the shed, and his ability to fix that up too. He was a great fixer-upper because feel he's working with the wood, he's working with the door jambs.
He worked on everything. He built sheds. He built this. You know, he was just into everything.
Great. Okay. So I know he knows what's going on. He's the type that measure twice, cut once type of guy, as they
Yeah.
say. Um, but I feel like he could also go through completing those projects lickety split. He was very fast at them.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
he knew what he was doing. Um, I also feel there's a guy friend of his that he would have had who's also now in the spirit world that you'd be aware of.
Yes, there is.
Yeah, a
Yes.
buddy of his, right? So he's just stepping in for a bit, kind of in now the sense from him is that he would be the type that would just kind of say hello to people and sort of stick with your dad instead.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That probably is right. Yeah.
Yeah, like he didn't really integrate with the family because that's not why he was there. But I feel he helped your dad in a number of projects.
Yeah, that'll be going back to years, and I couldn't say yay or nay.
Okay. Okay, so we'll leave that there just to say that he is stepping forward as well. Kind of just doing the wave like your dad would have. And your dad's really polite because your dad is allowing um this that kind of cameo appearance in
Interference.
there. So and your dad has a lot of respect for everyone even before they earn it. You'd understand that?
Yes, yes. He very respectful, open person. Well, he was
Yeah.
very respectful.
He has his protocols, though. There are certain,
Hmm.
and we're going back to expectations. Never would he let someone be rude. He would expect that they would be respectful back to everybody.
Yes, I've had experience of that.
Yeah, yeah. And I also feel that his workshop or the shed that he was in would be immaculate.
Yes, yes.
Everything in its place, and heaven help you if you did actually borrow something and either not return it or misplace it.
Yes.
Yeah. There's that just that only tiny bit of possessiveness in there
Yeah.
is just with it having to look a certain way and be a certain precise way. Now he's also relaying about parking the car. There must be an experience with you and your dad driving. Um, do you understand your dad helping you learn how to drive?
He would give me tips, but he had a weird shaped drive. And when
Okay,
my dad watched, I struggled with it with him watching,
because
and I made a complete hash.
he's making a joke about parking. Like
Yes.
parking the car was a bit of yeah no go,
Yeah,
just to put it
that
kind of politely
100%. Yeah.
that way. But he could also see the sense of humor in it. He wouldn't
Yes.
run away with the anger. It was just never going to be done ever again, kind of
Hmm.
thing. Because we'll let that. And I can almost hear him say, actually, we'll let your mother handle that. So he definitely knew when mom was going to step in and do her bit with the
Hmm.
kids. But I do feel with him a lot of laughter, a lot of time together. That was very important to him, is that there was
Hmm.
time spent with family as much as possible. I feel weekends were really important, and I believe he also emphasized with the kids that there's family time and then you can have your friend time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's now just passing along here his admiration for how you've handled your family in raising your family. Um, and you have sons, is that correct?
Yes.
Yes, because he's saying boys, because it feels like, especially with the boys, how you're
Yeah.
handling them,
Hmm.
with what do you call it? With um, it's giving me the image of not stiff upper lip, but a solid backbone. So you know
Yeah.
exactly, yeah, this is as far as you're going to get with this kind of thing, and making
Mm.
them toe the line. But also, that's how they are turning out to be the men that they are. Also, your dad is relaying how you've relayed to them a respect for women.
Hmm.
And that's very important. And in his eyes, how men respect women and ultimately women respect men. But from him, it's coming, the men must respect the ladies.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
much like that. Um, so with his love and absolute admiration about your family growing up, I feel as if he didn't get to see some of the family growing up.
No, no, he didn't.
So he's on the other side. He has seen them as they've grown up. So he didn't get to see them while he was here,
Yeah.
but afterwards he did, and just kudos from him with the job.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. Thanks, Diana.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay, let's see, Sandra, if who we have coming through. Okay. Okay, I believe I have mom and dad coming through. Um, so both mom and dad are in the spirit world. There would be a memory as a child, and I may be going to a gentleman here. That's a light feeling. There's a memory of, it's really nice. You know those the bears full of honey at the breakfast table? Yes. So they are bringing through a memory of the honey from that bear going on toast at the kitchen table. So I'd like to speak to someone who has, it would be both parents in the spirit world, and they'd have a distinct memory of the bear honey dispenser and that going on toast. It always goes to food at some point or another. Yeah.
That's a
See
happy
how that goes
memory.
out there. Yeah.
All right. Who has that memory? Toast with the honey and both parents and spirit. Raise your hand. No one?
Okay. No, I did say was going to a gentleman. I will take that back because that may not be the case. That may be referring to something else. So opening it to all genders of this being a memory of the honey in the little plastic bear.
No hands up. Oh, until now. I spoke too soon. Christine, if you could press your unmute button. Hi, Christine.
Hello.
Hi,
Hello.
Christine.
Hi.
I do know you, but this is information that's never come up before. You'd understand all of that, mom and dad and spirit, but the honey and the bear.
I remember the honey bear on the middle of the kitchen table.
Yeah, okay, great. So if I can keep on working with you there, Christine, now there's a sense here though that toast at breakfast would be really important.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the smell that's coming through very strongly. Um, one of your parents, I believe it's dad. Dad, you would know to have had some sort of odd tastes for food. Um, I'm trying to get to the toast, and he's kind of combining different foods together, which was a bit unusual. Would you understand that? It may
Not
not be
sure.
breakfast.
Not sure.
Not sure. Okay. And if it's not that, then your dad loved to put the condiments on food, ketchup,
Yeah. Yeah.
mustard, lots of. Okay. Okay, great. That's where he's going with that. Um, you and your dad saw a bear together. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he's bringing that forward as well. Like dad's stepping forward, and mom's letting him do so at the moment. Um, for the moment, she's kind of specifying. Um, back in those times, there's a very strong feeling that he was holding your hand.
Most likely.
Yeah, because you would have been very, very young when this happened.
Mm-hmm.
There's a very strong sense of protective dad,
Yes.
and even more so when you were young. Like he was always around, whether or not he was holding your hand, but he was always within eyesight of where you were. Is
He's
that it?
always in eyesight of where I am. You mean at the
Yeah, so he always
occasion?
kept you in his when you were outdoors, outside. He always had, he was that protective dad that was always keeping his eye on you.
I'm going to give you a no on that.
Okay, so if it's not that outside bit, then you would know growing up and going through school and some boyfriends, he was a protective dad.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Um, and your dad referred to you, even when you're older, as his little girl.
Often.
Okay. And I think that's where my confusion was in there. I do feel very much that your dad went through moments of closeness with you and then backing off.
Yes.
It's giving me a very strong sense here that in the backing off, that was coming from him. He feels very much in those times that he was not living up to the dad he should be. Would you understand that?
I do.
Okay. Um, because there's that strong still, like I could feel that bond that's so strong even through that existed way before, all the way through. And even when he pulled back because of him, that bond was still, he still felt it. He's
Yeah.
relaying that information. And he would have he would have explained some of that close to the time of his passing. Would you
Yeah.
understand that? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I feel for him, he didn't, no, what he wanted people to know, he had to make sure they knew.
I understand.
And so there, I feel that he had some of the feelings, some backstory that he went into more detail in order to express what the bigger picture. Do you understand what I mean?
I do.
Okay. And I also feel though too, he has a good sense of humor because it feels like from him he might have even over-explained things.
I understand.
Okay, more than people really wanted to know exactly. Okay, now I do feel Mum coming forward as well. Now Mum's coming forward with spaghetti.
Yep.
Okay, just trying to get it. We're battling a bit because she likes her spaghetti different.
True.
It's there's something
Embarrassing.
specific about the sauce.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't quite get it, but I know that the sauce seems really chunky, and it seems like there's vegetables that aren't quite cooked on it. Um,
I know what she's trying to convey. It's kind of embarrassing, but
okay, okay. So if you understand that
yeah,
style,
yeah.
that's fine too. Because I feel your mom has a good sense of humor too. Actually, probably even better than your dad's. And
Yes.
your dad's
Yes. They,
fine with
they
that.
they actually both have great sense of humor.
Yeah. And when they played off of each other in the heyday, it was like a floor show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, they've got that delight, that joy. They're coming through, I feel, especially now, to make sure you know that. Like you suspected that, I feel, but they want you to know that 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 bond, um, shall we say, rejoined, um, understanding is going on with has gone on with them. They've they've moved beyond issues from before.
Yeah.
And
I
just
understand that.
okay, and I just want to clarify that absolutely. Now, Mum's coming to you now. Um, she would also say my little girl like Dad did.
No.
No, okay, but Mum would have an affectionate term for you. Um, it's not complicated. It's not a nickname. It's more like I feel like there's a
Yes. Yes. Sorry.
idiom that
Sorry.
she's
Sorry.
using.
Yeah.
Okay,
Just heard it.
um, but she didn't do that for everyone else. This one was yours. Would you understand that?
No.
So that expression that she would use is not used for anyone else. She had a special one that was you.
I don't
Don't know. Okay,
know that one.
we won't hang up there. That may come through in a bit. But I want to go with Mom to you. Um, okay, so Mom's letting me know that you've had to prepare a lot more food than lately.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and just sometimes by the seat of your pants,
Yep.
and sometimes making the recipe as you go.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so she says she's seen that. She's been with you as that's been going on. She sympathizes is the feeling that she gives you there. And sometimes, okay, I don't know if you can this makes sense, but sometimes baloney has to be suffice sometimes.
I don't understand that.
Okay, I think what she's saying there is sometimes you have to just deal with what you've got in the fridge
Yeah.
and make the fantastic meal out of it. Now she did is highlighting how much um, she's laughing at the same time there. So she enjoyed what you went through, and I feel like that was your relationship with her, that the two of you could laugh about the same thing at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah, and not take yourself so seriously.
Right.
Um, and often I feel for Mom too, she would bounce things off of you to kind of get feedback in that way. Am I being a little too whatever? Do you
Mm-hmm.
understand that? Yeah. Um, And in a sense, she's relaying that you are wanting to do that with, you're kind of wishing she was here to do that again, just to have that kibitz to resolve some issues that you are keeping to yourself that are really kind of starting to dig in underneath. Do you understand?
I yes,
So there's some inner stuff that you're not exploring with other people, you're not expressing with other people that she would have been the perfect one to have that conversation with. Um,
yes,
because mom could go right to brass tacks. She could go right to the heart of the matter
true.
and be pragmatic in how to go through and even sometimes just say, this is you
Yeah,
and this is for you. You're taking it a bit seriously and you don't need to.
true.
Now, I want to be careful with that too, because mom would be right there whenever there's anything that would bring up the emotions in you.
True.
And she would have been holding your hand until you got through it.
Hmm.
But she was also quite realistic about here's what to do and don't overthink.
Yes.
Okay, because from mom, I feel that there's been a bit of emotional bruising, shall we say. Um, and so from mom, I'm feeling that give it a bit of time before feeling into the hurt of it, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Because she knows the way you come out of things is always, she's got the image of a sunshine, lovely sunshine, how you come out of it. Because once you're out of that, you glow on everyone and
Oh,
help to motivate them. And she's saying that's how she remembers you as well. So
I
so
need my glow back.
yeah, yeah, and she's there for you.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
felt
So
it.
thanks, Christine, and thank your mom and dad too for coming through.
Thanks, Tim. That was healing, and I've been asking for healing, so thank you.
You're welcome. Very
Bye.
welcome, Christine. Thanks. Okay, Sandra.
Thank you, Tim, so much. Friends, don't go anywhere. I've got one big announcement. It's never my favorite time of the year, but clocks change in North America next Sunday. So that means if you do not live in North America, United States, or Canada, please sign in to the Sunday gathering 1 hour early. This happens for the next 3 weeks. So if you're in Europe, Australia, New Zealand, UK, you sign in 1 hour early. Okay. Hate to do it to you, but twice a year the clocks change. And why they don't all do it the same weekend and they don't ask me, I don't know. So just make a note if you can on your calendar. So just some announcements. You can find Tim on his website, psychicmediumtim.com. He will be back with me soon enough. I believe it's on Easter Sunday, actually. We have some new classes that begin this week. We have Trance in the Altered States with Scott Milligan. It's an opportunity to slow down the busy mind and feel the love from that unseen world, loved ones, guides, develop for trance mediumship if you're interested in that. Also, we have a wonderful class beginning tomorrow called The Gentle Path to Spirit with our friends, medium friends, Phil Dykes and Carrie McLeod. It is introductory level, or if you've had some experience, you can join as well. It's a beautiful opportunity to learn how to communicate and feel what Tim's experiencing about how the loved ones feel. And it's a really, really beautiful class. So you never have to go on to be a medium if you wish to, certainly, but it's a wonderful class. It's a 5-session class in March, The Gentle Path to Spirit. You can find out everything that's coming up. Just go to wedon'tdie.com, click on the store page, and you'll see everything in chronological order. Next week on the Sunday gathering, Dominic Bogue and Darren are with me, joining us, the three amigos as we call ourselves. Just following the Sunday gathering, medium Chris Jacobs will be with me for a 90-minute medium demonstration. So, there's never enough demonstration time on our Sunday gatherings. So just about half hour after the Sunday gathering ends, you can join us for a 90-minute demonstration. Details for everything again at wedon'tdie.com. Also, a shout out to our wonderful friends who have made our Sunday gathering possible. You know who you are by your donations. We thank you, and so do so many So we appreciate it. We do have a Sunday gathering page at wedon'tdie.com. Should you ever wish to leave a donation, you can there. Also, you can register for the upcoming Sunday gatherings. You can watch past replays. Sometimes you might just need a little encouragement or empowerment or a smile. So just watch one of the replays. They're really wonderful. So thank you again for those kind donations. The last thing I just want to say is just be you. Just really leave the Sunday gathering today knowing that you're one of a kind and you are so dearly loved. Like I said, if we can look back on our life, and not that you're going to be on the edge of passing away anytime soon, but just like if you go on vacation somewhere, you have a little list of all the things you want to do. Treat life that way. What is it you want to do while you're here? Make the most of it and give it a try. There's no right way, there's no wrong way, there's just your way. And just remember to sprinkle in some kindness, some love, some forgiveness, and making a difference for another. And you can't go wrong. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Tim for our closing prayer.
Thanks, Sandra. And as we close in prayer, let us gather together and close our eyes. We give thanks again for a wonderful service that we've had together, a wonderful time in gathering. May we, through the things that we have heard, thought of, or picked up, or perhaps even been inspired with, add to who we are as an individual, to give us the strength to do the next step, to experience life the way we can moving forward with our free will, to expand who we are, our understanding, and to progress into a way which fits us and suits us, and we know makes us and those around us feel better. May we emanate that as a light from a candle. Amen.
Thank you so much, Tim. Always a pleasure to be here with you, always. And thank you to our friends in spirit and to you guys and gals for taking the time to be with us. So, Tim's closing song, I Want to Break Free by Queen. It's perfect. Just live your life, break free. Thank you all for being here. Let me play our closing song. Thank you, Freddie and Queen and Tim and everybody. We'll see you next week. Remember, if you're not in North America, come in 1 hour early. Bye, everyone. Thank you.